In this video, we are going to discuss about GE 8151 problem solving and Python programming, third unit that is control flow functions, third unit, fifth topic, scope, local and global, composition, recursion. This first we are going to see about local and global scope. So a namespace is a collection of names. In Python, you can imagine a namespace as a mapping of every name you have defined to corresponding objects. Different namespaces can coexist at a given time but are completely isolated. Although there are various unique namespaces defined, we may not be able to access all of them from every part of the program. The concept of scope comes into play. Scope is the portion of the program from where a namespace can be accessed directly without any prefix. At any given moment, there are at least three nested scopes. Scope of the current function which has local names, scope of the module which has global names, outermost scope which has built-in names. When a reference is made inside a function, the name is searched in the local namespace, then in the global namespace, and finally in the built-in namespace. If there is a function inside another function, a new scope is nested inside the local scope. Here the variable is the global namespace. Now we are going to see variable A and B. Okay. Here the variable A is in the global namespace. I hope you can see in this diagram. Variable B is in the local namespace of outer function and C is the nested local space of inner function. When we are in inner function, C is local to us, B is non-local and A is global. We can read as well as assign new values to C but can only read B and A from inner function. If we try to assign as a value to B, a new variable B is created in the local namespace which is different than the non-local B. Same thing happens when we assign a value to A. However, if we declare A as global, all the reference and assignment go to the global A. Similarly, if we want to rebind the variable B, it must be declared as non-local. The following example will further clarify this. Okay. So, adha kuduthirukku A, B. So, define addition, that is add. B is equal to 20. C is equal to A plus B. So, the global variable, the local variable. Print C. Define subject B is equal to 30. C is equal to A minus B. Print C, print A. So, the rendu add panna noda answer vandu 70. And here your answer is 20 and here your answer is 50. Okay. So next adhe mari local scope line same thing. So rendu add panna 70, subtract panna 20. Finally here you will be getting an error. Next enna paaka porom appadina function composition appadina enna appdin solli paaka porom. You can call one function from within another. This ability is called composition. Okay. As an example, we will write a function that takes 2 points, the center of the circle and a point on the perimeter and computes the area of the circle. Assume that the center point is stored in the variable xc and yc and the perimeter point is in xp and yp. The first step is to find the radius of the circle, which is the distance between the 2 points. Fortunately, we have just written a function distance that does just that. So now all we have to do is, so the radius is equal to distance, that is xc, yc, xp, yp. The second step is to find the area of the circle with the radius and return it. Again we will use one of our earlier function, that is result is equal to area of radius and have to return the result. Wrapping that up in a function, we have to define area first of all, that is xc, yc, xp, yp, and we will be getting radius is equal to distance xc, yc, xp, yp. We call this function area2 to distinguish it from the area function defined earlier. The temporary variable radius and result are used for development, debugging and single stepping through the code to inspect what is happening. But once a program is working, we can make it more concise by composing the function calls. So, that is example, math.square root, math.log of 10, define addition, that is a comma b, c is equal to a plus b, return c. Then you have to define multiplication function, C comma D, then you are declaring E is equal to C into D. So finally E oda value ரெண்டையும் multiply பண்ண value கிடைக்கும். then C is equal to add 10 comma 20, then E is equal to multiply C comma 30. Finally the E value will be 900. Okay. Next what you are going to see is recursion. So recursion means a recursive function is a function which calls itself with smaller or simpler input values. Generally, if a problem can be solved utilizing solution to smaller versions of the same problem and the smaller version reduced to easily solvable cases, then one can use a recursive function to solve that problem. So we are having some of the base conditions how we are going to see for the recursive function. So the base case is the smallest version of the problem which cannot expressed in terms of smaller problems. Although this base case have predefined solution, in recursive program the solution to base case is provided and the solution of bigger problem is expressed in terms of smaller problem. So it's a Python program to find factorial of a given number using recursive function. So define factorial of n. If n is equal to 1, have to return 1, else return n into factorial n minus 1. Suppose if I am giving the number is 5, print the number of, that is the factorial of num is factorial of num. So 5 oda factorial value enna அப்படினா நமக்கு output என்ன வரும்னா 120. So இது எப்படி calculate பண்றோம் அப்படினா 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So the answer will be 120. Okay. So the above example, factorial is a recursive function as it calls itself. When we call this function with a positive integer, it will recursively call itself by decreasing the number. Each function calls multiplies a number with the factorial of number 1 until the number is equal to 1. This recursive call can be explained in the following steps as, for example, இந்த இடத்துல factorial of 5 அப்படி நம்ம கொடுக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா next இந்த ஸ்டெப்ல என்ன பண்றோம்னா first இத கால் பண்ணோம். next என்ன இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா 5 into factorial of n minus 1 means 5 minus 1, so 4. So 5 into factorial of 4. Next step 5 into 4 into factorial of 3. Next 5 into 4 into 3 into factorial of 2. Next 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into factorial of 1. Then last 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So அதை evaluate பண்ணா நம்மளோட ஆன்சர் என்ன இருக்கும்னா 120 அப்படிங்கற ஆன்சர் நமக்கு அவுட்புட் கிடைக்கும். So our recursion ends when the number reduces to 1. This is called the base condition. Every recursive function must have a base condition that stops a recursion or else the function calls itself infinitely. So the advantages of recursion enna அப்படினா 3 advantages உண்டு. Recursive function makes the code look clean and elegant. Second one, a complex task can be broken down into the simpler subproblems using recursion. The third one is sequence generation is easier with recursion than using some nested iteration. Then disadvantages of recursion, idukku 3 points undu. First one is sometimes the logic behind recursion is hard to follow through. Second one is recursive calls are expensive, that is inefficient as they take up a lot of memory and time. The last point is third one, recursive function are hard to debug. Okay. So I hope you have understood GE 8151 problem solving and Python programming unit 3, that is control flow functions. Fifth topic, that is third unit, fifth topic, scope, local and global, composition and recursion. Thank you.